We're here today to talk about how trust has become the new currency of our world today. You think about it. What's a currency? It's a medium of exchange. It's how things work and move. And money has always been a currency. Land is a currency. Oil has been a currency. Silicon has been a currency. But today, in the age of collaboration, trust is the new currency. In the age of change and disruption, trust is the new currency. In the age of so much of a sharing economy and a reputation economy, trust is the new currency. It is trust that makes our world go round. We are in a new world, and trust better be number one. See, it's a new world. It's a reputation economy, and trust is your currency. It's an age of collaboration, and trust is your currency. If we sacrifice and lose that trust, it will impact everything else that we're trying to do. Now, let me share a statement from Francis Fukuyama, the Stanford University fellow. It's a very profound statement that I want to apply to each of us as leaders and to our organizations. He said this. He said, a nation's well-being, as well as its ability to compete, is conditioned by a single pervasive cultural characteristic: the level of trust inherent in the society. So an entire country is impacted by the level of trust. Now, I'll show you some data on that in a few minutes. I want to take this expression and say this is not only true for a country, it is true for an organization. It is true for your business. It is true for a team. It is also true for a leader. The level of trust you have and people have in you impacts everything else. Your ability to compete and your ability to perform is all based upon trust. So if we can get good at this trust, it can have a huge impact and effect in the quality of our relationships and of our business, our results. But still, for many people, trust is just seen as soft. Nice to have. I was just with a group yesterday, and they told me this. They said, Stephen, when you talk about trust, you're talking about nothing. I don't understand. It's just ethereal. It's intangible. It's really nothing. I want to show you a different way of looking at trust. I want to show you how tangible it is, how practical it is, how actionable. Trust is, it's concrete, it's real. I want to give you a new way of looking at trust. And I'm going to give you this new way of looking at trust with 3 points. I'm going to call these 3 points 3 big ideas. The first big idea, I'm going to show you how trust is an economic driver, not merely a social virtue. If I could put this another way, there is a business case for trust. Trust is financial, not just social. You can put a value on it. You know what? For many people, this is a paradigm shift. Most people just see trust as soft. Nice to have social virtue. It is that, and it is financial. It affects the speed at which you can move and the cost of everything. It is a huge economic multiplier for you, for your team, for your business. I'll show you how in a moment. I'm going to call this the business case for trust. The second big idea I'm going to call the leadership case for trust. And that's this premise that trust is the number one competency of leadership needed today, more than any other. I'm going to submit that of all the competencies of leadership, that the most important, the foundational competency is trust, because of how it impacts and changes every other competency that we need to have, and makes it better when the trust is high, or diminishes, dilutes, taxes your other strengths when the trust is low. And by the way, when I talk about leadership, I'm not talking about management position per se. Leadership is a choice, not a position. Everyone in this room is a leader in whatever your role and responsibility. And trust is your foundational asset. It is the currency. And that's the third big idea. Here's the third big idea. That trust is a learnable skill. It is a competency. It is something that you can learn and do and create and establish and expand and extend, and in some cases, even restore. You can get good at trust. You can build it on purpose. For many people, this third big idea is a paradigm shift, that trust is learnable. For many, they think you either have trust or you don't. It's either there or it's not. And I will say, yes, that's your starting point. We all start with a level of trust, whether it be low, medium, high. But in the same way that you can diminish and lose trust through your behavior, you can also consciously, deliberately create it, expand it, grow it through your behavior.